Welcome back to Jack of All Trades, a guidance channel for young men. Today's video is about choosing your friends and how important it is for you to choose the right people in your life and what a difference it can make. So we have a quote here by John Maxwell: "The better you are at surrounding yourself with people of high potential, the greater your chance for success." And if we were going to boil this video down to, a real short clip, that would basically be it. Is if you surround yourself with people who are positive and want the best for you and want the best for themselves, then you have a much better chance of being successful. If you surround yourself with people who aren't interested in doing well in life, or people who are negative, or people who are, doing the wrong things in life or making bad decisions, that is going to wear off on you. No matter how hard you may try for it not to, or no matter how much you think you may be able to bring that person up and, well, I'm going to change them and I'm going to help that person, I'm going to make them a better person, and I won't make bad decisions. That's not what happens. They're gonna wear you down. They're gonna get you to start making bad decisions. It's infectious. So it doesn't mean you can't try to help people, but your close friends, you need to choose them very wisely. You need to be deliberate about it. You need to be intentional, like we talk about. You need to be very intentional about who you have as friends, and pick the right people. Pick people who want the best for you, and people who want the best out of life and are gonna help you do that. So another quote here: Jonathan Anthony Burkett said, "It's better to have a few faithful friends than numerous shallow friendships." So in the age of social media right now, with Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and everything going on, a lot of people do have numerous shallow friends. They have a lot of shallow friends and people they don't know very well. But it's hard to have those good friends. It's hard to have somebody that you really connect with and somebody that you spend quality, meaningful time with. And so it's something you're going to have to focus on. It's something that if you want to have quality friends, which you should have, it's as a person in general, but especially as a young man. As a young man, you need friends. You need young men to be friends with, and good men who can help keep you on the right path and help you develop and hold you accountable, and all those things are really important. Got a quote here by Jordan Peterson. It's out of his book 12 Rules for Life, which is an amazing book. He's really smart, so it's a little bit of a tougher read for some of the stuff, but I just wanted to go through it real quick. This is Rule 3, which is make friends with people who want the best for you. That's the rule. And that's kind of what what we're talking about today as well, is people who want the best for you. They want the best for themselves. They're trying to make the world a better place. They want the best for you. They're willing to stand by you, but also hold you accountable and push you to do the right things and not want to lead you down that wrong path. So the quote is, "Here's something to consider. If you have a friend whose friendship you wouldn't recommend to your sister or your father or your son, why would you have such a friend for yourself? You might say, out of loyalty. Well, loyalty is not identical to stupidity. Loyalty must be negotiated fairly and honestly. Friendship is a reciprocal arrangement. You are not morally obligated to support someone who is making the world a worse place. Quite the opposite. You should choose people who want things to be better, not worse. It's a good thing, not a selfish thing, to choose people who are good for you. It's appropriate and praiseworthy to associate with people whose lives would be improved if they saw your life improve." And then there's a lot to that. It's a longer quote than what we normally do. But what that really boils down to is, hey, friendship is a reciprocal arrangement. It's an agreement. You don't have to be friends with anybody. You're not obligated to be friends, with anyone. And you can then be friends with anyone who is willing to be a friend with you. And so you should choose that wisely. You should choose where and be intentional about where you place those loyalties. And it should be someone who wants to make the world a better place. It should be someone who wants the best for you and who's going to push you and who wants to truly know what you like and what your likes and dislikes are. And someone who you can grow with, someone you can, develop with, someone that will, as you grow and as you become a better person and as you continue to work on yourself, somebody who's going to encourage you and be positive about what you're trying to do and not put you down and try to hold you back where they are. And ideally, someone who wants to come along with you and, hey, you're working on this, you want to be a better person, let's do it together. And if not, at least support you. So read that quote by Jordan Peterson. If you haven't read that book, it's a wonderful book, 12 Rules for Life. It's one of my favorite books. And pause the video, read it, kind of think about what you're reading as well. A lot of his stuff is it's a little bit deeper. It takes a little bit to process, but it's worth it. Another quote here by Robert Greene. Now this is out of the 48 Laws of Power. And so this is I got the books here, so I keep looking down. The 10th law is infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. And what that rule's about is if you're constantly around people who are unlucky or unhappy, and I kind of try to focus primarily on the unhappy portion, you will end up being unhappy. And you may think that you're going to make them happy. Oh, I'm going to pull them up to my level. And that's not what happens. And it's been documented. There's been studies on it. If you're hanging out with somebody who's constantly negative, you are going to become more negative of a person. It's kind of like an infection. It's like a virus, and it's really hard to overcome. And so if we're in this zone here where we're talking about how you get to choose who your friends are and you get to choose who you hang out with, well, that's amazing because you can choose positive people. You can choose people who are happy and positive, and you can make them your friends. And then that's going to in turn make you more happy and positive. And when we're happy and positive, we're much more likely to have great things happen in our life than when we're negative and worn down and skeptical about everything. And that's just not a mindset you want to be mired in. It doesn't mean you always have to be happy, right? But if that's more of your default setting, I think that's a good thing. So Robert Greene here says, you can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. What he's talking about with the drowning man there is you may feel like you're helping somebody. Or you may say, hey, I know they're down a lot, but they're going to get through it, or I'm going to help them be more positive like me. And that's not often what really happens. And I would go even further and say, not just with emotions and being happy, happy or sad. It's the same thing with people who want to make good decisions and people who make poor decisions. If you hang out with people who make poor decisions, you're going to end up making poor decisions. It's going to happen. But if you hang out with people who want to make good decisions and make the right decisions and at least try, well, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to do the same thing. You're going to make good decisions. Or you're going to at least try to make good decisions. And you'll have somebody there to support you in trying to make those positive decisions. And that's a big deal, and it makes a big difference. Before I get into the flip side there, I think a lot of times people get stuck in, well, these people are my friends, they've been my friends for a long time, or hey, my parents know their parents, and so they're friends, and so now we're friends. You get to choose who you're friends with. Just because you've been friends with somebody for a long time, just because somebody's your neighbor. Now, if you choose not to be their friend, it doesn't mean you're rude to that person. It doesn't mean you don't treat them with respect, and it doesn't mean you don't even spend time with them. But you get to choose who you really put your faith and trust in. And this is what we're talking about. Finding those, in your life, normally you're going to have a couple really close friends at a time. And that's it. You'll have a lot of acquaintances and a lot of people and even some people you hang out with. But really, truly good friends, you'll have a couple. And because you'll only have a couple, you really need to choose those wisely. So the flip side of this is you need to be a good friend. You got to be a good listener. You need to care about them. You need to stand up for them when they need it. Be there for them when they need you, whether that's emotionally or standing up with them with people picking on them, or if they're down and they need a pickup, or whatever it is. Be there for them. Be that person that you wish you had, that friend that you wish you had in your life. And putting here, not because you expect something in return, that's huge. Okay, be there for that person, not expecting, hey, they're going to pay me back. Just be a good friend. No strings attached. Just be who you wish, the friend that you wish you had. And that's how you really make good friends. Somebody who knows, man, no matter what happens, he's got my back. No matter what happens, he's going to be there for me. And even if I do something wrong or screw up or whatever it is, they're going to stand up for me. They're going to be there for me. They're really looking out for me. And be that kind of friend. And if you're that kind of friend, you will attract that kind of people as well. And they'll want to be your friend. And it works both ways.
Thank you for listening to the video. Please like, share it to your friends and your family, and subscribe and tell whoever you want. Thank you for watching.